Yeah, I hit there's a start recording button and there's a start streaming button, and I hit the recording instead of the streaming, but yeah, we'll start this again. Why not? Yeah. Mike wasn't finding it. I was just like, huh? What's going on? So we're trying. We're basically on here trying to discuss as far as a strategy, um, where things are going to go. Basically, the main reason why I was coming on here, and I can deal with strategy in a moment. But I want to deal with the big picture first, and that is, of course, the news of the day, which really has culminated in a lot of information that started coming out or started being smeared, for lack of a better term, in some of the drama. This week has been one weird week for a lot of stuff. Um, and I'm seeing I, I'm seeing a lot of interesting patterns developing. First of all, let's just start with the news. Of course, unless you're living under a rock, you should realize by now that version 2 has been delayed again. Now, I say that with a disappointed tone, but not disappointed at the Run8 team. I have no disappointment for them whatsoever. In fact, if anything, they've given us a window. Brad posted on my Facebook page, as well as many others, just like he said he would do. I know some people have been critical of the team not posting enough information. Well, he basically came through. Um, there was a lot of, there was a lot of stuff. They said September and October, and that they were going to work on it. And yes, we want all this information, but they can't just keep on answering questions and doing whatever when they have so many. They have their low number of people that are into the project. I mean, don't get me wrong, they got a big team. Cool, Mike. They got a big team and all. Um, but as far as who can develop, I mean, yes, they got the root slaves, and but there's also not all of them are full time into this. I know. John is. I'm not too sure about the rest of them these days. I know John is. I imagine others are too, but I do know for a fact, like Jason, for example, over on the A line, he's drives truck for a living, and if he's there's a lot of hours. I mean, he drives teams, so he has the benefit of, I guess you call it the benefit of having his laptop with him once in a while and being able to do stuff. But they got to get their sleep. They got to enjoy each other's too. I mean, they're with each other for all the time. So I mean, that must be, it takes a pretty good relationship to be a team trucker. So I mean, they're enjoying that. So as far as I can tell, they're enjoying that. Last I heard, they got some great pictures and everything. So I follow a lot of these guys and see what they're doing. John Greenstone is coming back over. I believe he's visiting for a couple months or something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm suspecting, if I understood correctly, that he is either coming home this weekend or next week. Somewhere around there, and last week communicated. I don't have an exact date or anything like that. I'm not that close to him, but I did hear from with his Facebook about that. So I knew he was coming back this way. I didn't really think it'd have anything to do with version 2 or have anything to do with that, because I imagine they're in communication, with the internet and all that other stuff. So however they're doing things, I don't know. I just don't know enough about that. I did post a message My only concern now is, and it's not when it's coming out. I know it's coming. Okay. My only concern now, and I kind of mentioned that, and I'm hoping Brad can reply to it because basically, I have his back. But basically in one of the posts, and I think I said it on the RTS post that he replied to. We'll still have to all the cop cars, probably. But I think what I did in that basically said that we support them. We support the team here. There's people who are disappointed. I'm sure they're disappointed. I get that. It's nothing to do with being disappointed with the team or their lack of ability or anything like that. I don't know where some of this anger and frustration really comes from, but I think people need to get a grip and get a life. Yeah, sometimes I'm invested too heavily in this, but we're talking about we waited this long for it now. I can wait another week or two. A week, this whole week has flown by. You don't think another week or two is going to fly by just like that? And I got tons of things that I need to do to get things ready. Yeah, we're ready. We can take it right now, but there's a lot of stuff that I can do to get ourselves even more ready and more prepared. My only concern, if there was any concern, was the talk about the lockdown as far as the data files. I know why that's happening. I'm pretty sure I know why that's happening, and that's basically the threat that has basically been all over Facebook for a while. If you haven't seen it, you're not going to see it now, or unless you're into some of the tighter groups where this person is allowed to spew his garbage. Quite frankly, I've made some parodies about it today. I had a little novel I did at lunch. This was before I found out about version 2. I went on a bit of a rant the other night because I had a funny feeling that this had something to do with it, and I don't know for sure. They're not saying that they're not going to show their hands and say it has to do with it. My gut instinct is it probably has something to do with it, but there could be issues too, which is fine. I mean, even the selected individual was saying that there was issues, so maybe he's heard stuff. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. They'll get it figured out. I'm not worried about that. So, I mean, that goes with that. I mean, we're still gonna be here. I'm not going anywhere. When Brad goes and basically says 1 to 2 weeks, that is the tightest timeline that he has given since the release of version 1. And for those of you that weren't around when version 1 released, it was late too. And look at what it became. So get a grip, relax. There's there's nothing that is going to stop this. No fast food chain, so-called whatever, no, cartoon characters or whatever the hell it is that think they run the show. They don't run nothing. They're whoever this is, or whoever is threatening or talking crap, is either people who have done nothing, say nothing, think there's something, or really not much of anything. They're irrelevant. They're obsolete. They aren't what the community is about. I did see a video that surfaced. Actually, it was a video surfaced, quite frankly, originally to a person that I was concerned with, because it was the same person that first got my attention because I saw all of a sudden I heard about what was going on, and then all of a sudden I put two and two together, and I thought, well, wait a minute, is he actually going to, because this person was able to do this freeware kind of idea, or at least make these skins. I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, if he's capable of doing that, then maybe they're onto something, or maybe they actually do have somebody who's going to program this and that. But it turns out that video actually shed some light on me today, because it was an interesting video that was posted that basically said that of his grand scheme that he has been going on about, and he is an insider to this process because he is on that forum. And he's not the only one. I have tons of sources that are daily giving me updates on what's happening on the dam's Facebook page, and they're going to continue to do so. And I'll tell you something. There's a lot of people that are up in arms on that Facebook page. You look on the forum's dead. But if you go onto their Facebook page, I mean, whoa. And I don't know. At least I haven't seen. But I haven't seen anybody that has gone above them. This person is an admin, and he's being attacked by members. I've attacked admins before, and I got on a certain forum, and he actually was a Run8 team member too, and I got put on, I don't know, a 30-day or 14-day probation or whatever the hell it was, until Nels finally released it, and I calmed down a little bit. But like I said, I haven't seen eye to eye with the team all the time either, and I'm telling you right now. You know, I could easily join the bandwagon, if you will, but why would I? They haven't done anything to me in the last couple of years that has made me not trust what they're saying. And I'm not part of the inner team, I'm not part of the inner circle, I'm not part of anything other than I have my little blurb on their website, and they provide me with the same updates that they would provide anybody else. And even if they don't provide me with all the updates and maybe they post it somewhere else, I ain't worried about it. The information, I can find the information. It doesn't bother me as long as I can get to the information. There's so much information out there now that's being posted around, especially on Facebook, and I hate Facebook. But you know something, I'll use Facebook to go through and dig through some of the information, and I'll find what I need to find out. And I'm not worried about this. It's a bunch of garbage. So, well, you know, I'm going to almost 10:30 here, so I ain't gonna get much done tonight. But just give me a minute. I just want to grab one snack as usual. My throat was going dry, and I'm thinking to myself, and I was looking at, well, I'm getting thirsty again, and my throat was getting dry, and then I looked at the time, I was like, damn, it's 10:30. I got home, and then I started going through all the information. I was like, whoa, okay, lots of information. So, yeah, I mean, that's really all I got to say as far as the whole drama with what's going on with Run8 and those people that are all ticked off. And you know, you guys are either too new, you haven't been around long enough, or I don't know what it is, or maybe you think you've been around long enough and you think you're entitled to something. I mean, you paid for version 1, you got version 1. You didn't pay for free updates, you got free updates. I mean, this program has gone such a long way. I can't tell you how much. These guys don't give themselves enough credit and pats on the back for what they've done. Okay? I don't know, and I know there's members of the community that do show this appreciation to them as well. Unfortunately, they don't get enough recognition for what they did. And no, I'm not drinking the Run8 Kool-Aid, so screw you. You know, I've had my issues with Brad. I've had my issues with Dale. This isn't about this, you know. We've learned to forget about the past and move on and act like adults. And I mean, I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. Nobody's perfect, okay? I've made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. I could care less, you know. And I'm sure they're not worried about that either. Honestly, they got better things to worry about than me or anything, you know, butthurt feelings or whatever else is the issue with some of these people. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I know there, you know, maybe there's money involved, maybe there's this involved, I've heard this and that. I don't care. It doesn't affect me, nor should it affect the rest of the community. If somebody got screwed over or whatever the case may be or thinks they are, well, you know, take them to court then. I mean, I've been legally threatened. Why don't you go legally threaten them? You know, put your money with your, you know, where your mouth is, or whatever the hell the saying is. So, no, I'm not worried about that crap. So, anyways, enough of the drama. Bottom line is, it's coming. It's got delayed. We've been given a week to 2. So, now we have an interesting time right now on the RTS side. So, unfortunately, we stopped the cycle in anticipation of it, but because of that, for California, now we're in a bit of a hiatus or whatever. Personally, I'm not interested in running Barstow or doing anything on the server that involves running of trains or management. Normally, I would have gone on tonight and run Barstow. I wasn't really, and I wasn't going to do anything anyways. It's 10:31. I'm probably going to take a good look at what's coming up. I think make a game plan for Sunday for myself personally, and just go in and just try to clean house. I'm encouraging that we don't use the registry. We get out of that. I don't know where we are in yards, if we're just about done, but what we can do is we can generate some trains, spawn some activity, or do something. I don't know as far as switching or whatever, or just, I mean, experiment, I guess. Try a few things. You know, see what happens, but reporting suspicious person in Bakersfield Yard. This has got to be a joke. Don't make eye contact. Oh my god. Somebody's watching somebody. I'm not going to watch them. In Bakersfield? Yeah, fine. I'll go over to Bakersfield. Sorry, I wasn't going to be watching trains, but okay, what's going on here? Oh. Woo! It's a noise everywhere. So yeah. So basically, I don't know honestly, I don't know what to say about this. It's not my concern right now, and Mike's aware of that, so he's gonna figure out something, I think. He has a software, he can generate as many lists as he wants, trains. I know some people are talking about, you know, they're missing a run of the yards. The other thing too, honestly, I don't know what A-Line's doing, but perhaps they need some help. I'm not trying to push people away from California either, but nah, I don't know. There'll be more room for the. Yeah, I'm beginning. I don't know how the graphics are going to be like, to be honest. That could be another hurdle we'll have to figure out, but I'm sure they could be scaled back, so I'll deal with that when the time comes. As long as the program runs, that's all I care about. I'll deal with the rest later. Yeah, the registry is something that I've got to dump. I know I got time to dump it now. I've got at least a week of time to buy it. That to me is crucial, because now I don't have to I don't have to squeeze in something and then get caught. I can take my time, develop it properly. I'm not saying I can't do it on the side, but it's much easier to develop the registry as it's coming through. Probably the best thing to do is, if trains are released, is to post a message and leave the links to the trains. And, you know, basically, if people want to download and run them, run them. If they want to fill up yards, or if they want to do whatever they want to do, really, it doesn't matter. Whatever they want to amuse themselves with, because honestly, I'm not even sure if the version 1 world will be compatible with version 2 at this point. So even a world save may not mean anything. We may have to start from scratch. I doubt it. There probably will be saves capable, and I don't know if a version 1 save, even if a train file, will be able to be imported into version 2. So that's just a word of warning, that may happen. And if it does, it's not a big deal. We've done it before. We can start from scratch again, and we may have to. But that's okay. That's just something to keep in mind. It may happen that way. I'm prepared for it either way. This also gives a bit of a window for both myself and Ski to upgrade the program a little bit. I've seen a few things. I'm not saying that these things are going to get done. There's a lot of things that are going to be going on in the next 2 weeks across the world, as you well know. Mainly, of course, in the United States, but so I'm kind of curious as to what's happening there too. So I might be distracted a little bit too. I'm not saying that I'm going to be doing this all the time. I don't want to be running right now. So. Not distracting me any. I'm just rambling along here. But no, I'm just rambling along. It's 10:38, and I just want to take a quick look at something here. I just want to see where I am as far as the guidelines, and kind of give a game plan before I end tonight. I'm only going to yap here for a little bit, because I'm not staying up late tonight. I've kind of said all I've had to say about what's going on, so I don't even want to go into that more with that. So I believe this was the post. Yeah, we were talking about the various steps that we were going here. So adding the missing trains, I got some time now for that. That's not a priority anymore. The reason why number 1 was up there was because if version 2 suddenly came out, we would basically want to run a cycle right away. That number 1 is going to be pushed back. I've actually did add a bunch more trains, so we're fine there. This is the one that I am now going to focus on, and this plays into this is going to play into the whole using the registry. Now, can I modify and change the registry while the old registry is still in place? Yes. I'd rather not, though. I'm not saying that it can't be done, and if you decide that you still want to use the registry, or we decide that we still want to use the registry, that's fine. I'd rather dismantle it and then take it from there. So once the essential trains have been run, the registry system for California, which has been done as far as I know, the registry system for California will discontinue as anticipated. That I plan on doing. A list of available spawns and links will be provided. This is where I was talking about if we're going to generate another, either number 1, if they're looking for something to switch, then we could potentially give them something. The other thing to keep in mind is who's looking for something to switch. And I'm not too sure, Mike, if you're still in on this one, but this is very important because for one thing that we've never really gotten into is trying to figure out if we were going to go ahead and switch in the Victorville areas. Mainly, I know there was some locals or something like that up in that area. There's a few industries out in that area. Unfortunately, I guess Leland would have been the expert on that, but Bear might be. So that's something to consider. And this is where I'm getting to the whole experiment thing. Because this is a good time where, I mean, Bakersfield, you can do all kinds of things. I mean, you can look at different ways of running Bakersfield, just move some cars around, see what's more efficient, see if there's something. I mean, I look at this as a time where you can actually try out some things. There's no reason why you can't try out some things in Barstow too. But those are ones. I mean, yeah, Cadiz is Cadiz. It ain't gonna change. You know, I don't think you can really do much with Cadiz. Edison, not really. There's not much you can change there. But when you're looking into SJVR and some of that stuff, well, there's potential. I mean, who knows? Barstow, you can look at Barstow and you can all of a sudden start looking at the flow of cars and how they come in and how they, do different things. I may be looking in that way myself, especially Barstow. I don't think it's a top priority right now for me, but it's something. I believe it's further down into the logistics, but how Barstow runs or doesn't run, or those are things that can be experimented on. So, or you can even look at things as possibly training. You can spawn a train into the system and just copy and paste it TMU and just spawn it right for the hump yard if you're looking to add traffic to the hump or something and trying different things. So there's a lot of different things that people can try. I'm kind of almost like try a freelance approach and just see. Not worried about anything really, but I don't know. That's just my ideas for it, just to keep people happy and whatever. But so Once this takes place, reporting of mainline departure and crew changes will no longer be required. That's something I would like to see implemented. Again, it's not my call. If it's something that's still there, the system's still there for it, I can always go offline to make the changes that I want in Sheets on a separate one. I can copy the information. I can work around it. It's not a big deal. I'm just saying I think that's something that we should stick to personally, but that's just me. The yard functions will remain. That could be gone now. If we're out of yard functions, why not kill it? And a bid system will be and this is where it leads to, is getting into the bid system, which will include dispatcher positions, host availability. So that would take care of that. I'm looking at number 3 here. I'm just going through the list, and I'm going to end this tonight and answer any questions. Okay, so that's just deleted the train. Going back in further, the spawn area for trains coming out of BNSF West Colton. Well, see, there we go. I already did that last night. So 1 and 3 I worked on will be analyzed and expanded to make room for longer trains. We are around the 10,000 foot mark. So we're close to that. We're not quite there yet. I'm not worried about it being exactly 10,000 as long as I can get it. There is an issue with the tonnage. I may have to look into the RTS code. I'm not too sure if Ski's going to be around as of next week, or this weekend or not. I'm going to try to touch base with him and see what his schedule's like. Perhaps we can get a meeting with the mines as early as Sunday, but I doubt it. Last I heard, he was pretty busy. So anyways, the spawn area for BNSF Bakersfield will also be heavily analyzed. That's something, if Ski doesn't do, I will. It's something that we need to figure out. That's something too, Mike. If you're still, let me just see. Hang on a second here. I just want to see if Mike's still on. I just want to see if he's still on, but I'm just going to continue to go ahead with it, and if not, I'll go through with him later, because that's going to pertain to his decisions. Okay, cool. So yeah, I just want to make sure everything's cool there. Dang it! I don't want to go back in there. I want to go back to here. Okay, so we have spawn. Here's another thing I'm thinking of, and this is where it comes to experimenting. We have spawn issues. What will help me personally is if we know certain trains are working okay in Bakersfield, no big deal, but if we know certain trains in Bakersfield are causing problems, we need to spawn them and keep spawning them and keep generating as many cycles as we can until we find out what's happening. Because what that'll do for me, I can do it, but it's something others can do as well too. And what you can basically do is you can create a list of trains and put the link. Don't worry about the last cycle, new cycle link, or whatever. Just create a list and copy in the links, put it into a document or whatever, and then people can see it. They can download the trains, try them out, or whatever. But that's something, because then once I know, maybe start a thread with all of the debugging of the various ones. Let me know what the link of the file is. I'll download it, and then I will find out what's going on with it at some point. But any information now, I've been hearing the different information, but I haven't been able to go in to heavily debug it. So I don't know what's happening there. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to test as much as I want to in this area, so that helps me. But that's something where, once again, if we're running a free-for-all server where we just let things go for now, then we can just spawn whenever the hell we want and find out what's happening. So that's just an idea. So like I said, if not ski, I will personally go into this and try to see what is happening. Spawn areas for Daggett to spawn further back at Yermo will also be investigated as well. I haven't done that yet. It's low priority. This doesn't really matter, but it just adds more signals for the dispatching coming out of Yermo, since there is a control point further back. I will look into it eventually, but again, it's not a top priority, even though it's up there at number 3. So going on I'll go on to 4 in a second here. I just want to make sure everything is hunky-dory over in text land. Delay is terrible tonight on the way. Really? Yeah, well, that sucks. The delay is terrible. I don't know why. Damn it, I'm back into here again. What am I doing? Okay, I gotta focus on this. 10:49, I'm gonna be done in this in 10 minutes. So number 4, the current beta of RTS source code will be analyzed in regards to any issues with spawns. We already know that there's an HPT issue, because I'm getting 5.4 HPT trains coming out of those 10,000 footers. I don't know why that is. I don't know if the smaller trains are doing it okay. I'm not too sure if the ones coming from Needles. So that's another thing that needs to be looked into. If you're seeing trains that have unrealistic HPT configurations, they should be minimum 4 HPT. If they go too much higher above 4, that with massive number of engines on it, they shouldn't be going into 5.3 and 5.4 like I saw the other night. So something's up there. Anything that's weird with the HPT, whether it be not enough power or way too much power, that needs to be scrutinized and investigated and reported. Perhaps, again, we can start a document or a post in the thread. I'll keep it going just like this one, and we'll take it from there. I will also be clearing up some of the redundant code, screens, etc. Yeah. Not a high priority, but yeah. I'll be adding a length field to all car types. Now that's something that interests me too. Even though this is included in Run8, it's hard to access unless Ski has a plan for this as well. The lengths will be calculated and added to the output files that RTS generates so that the system knows the length of all trains. See, the other thing that might get people's attention too is what they need to see or would like to see. It's a good time for them to try different things and say, this is what I need in RTS, or this is what I would like to see in RTS. I don't think I'll have I'm not going to post it tonight. I posted enough tonight, and I'm going to go through the end of this, and maybe I'll refer to the video. This will make way for a potential future system dealing with trains with overshooting their boundaries. However, the main focus here is to get the proper length of trains both into the logistics system as well as the Barstow and West Colton matrix sheets. So that makes sense. Then that'll get our lengths a little bit better too, because the lengths that are coming out of LA right now are too small. Once we get the lengths coming better out of LA, we will be able to take some of the length out of, I believe, some of those Kansas City trains. They may be a little bit longer than what they're supposed to be. Then again, they might be prototypical. I'm not too sure. I have to look into that. But I know by having more stuff coming in that might be heading north, we would be able to deal with that a little bit better. So Barstow and West Colton matrix will receive an overhaul of the matrix that includes Phoenix. Didn't I just do that? Yeah, I did. Okay. Barstow will undergo a logistics system analysis of all movements and lengths. Things such as lub, for example, that fill the yard, or too many empty cars will be analyzed. We will also compare our findings to the waybills that we've had in the TD3 data to see if our trains are fairly accurate according to the data. So P number 1 was, again, if version 2 became available, that's when we go into the analyzing of what's going on there. And like I said before, and this is, and I still stand by this. Personally, I have absolutely no concern of how long it takes version 2 to come. I'm not worried about it because I know it's coming. We know it's coming, just like I said in this. And it don't matter now if it's 2 weeks later. I don't care. It's coming. It takes another hour, day, or weeks, like I said before. I'm focused on these priorities right now. I might take a little bit of time and relax a bit, but I doubt it. I mean, a little bit, but not too much. So I'm only speaking for California server. The others, you know. And as always, we welcome comments and suggestions. So, but yeah, let me just see. And we got a damn delay over on the thing here. Hang on a second here. Do I want to go back to? I did this yesterday. I went into the YouTube channel. But I gotta do this. This is like a goofy. What the heck? I want to go to my channel. Alright. 5 people relaxing and watching. So you could try chatting with me here. At least it's, I don't know. It's live at what it's live as to what I'm saying, if that makes sense. BNSF model railroad. So yeah, I can chat through this. It don't matter. I can go back into here. So if you guys have any comments, suggestions, questions, ideas, then we can take it from there. Otherwise, I'm gonna end it for tonight. It's 10:55 Eastern right now. But let's see what you guys think. If not, I will end it. Of course, I got a huge delay going on, so. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else going on. So yeah, I posted a message, but I'll kind of left it to that. Let you guys figure out how you want to post it. Okay. Love block. Well, that's cool. That's one thing I don't have to worry about then. For those not knowing what the hell we're talking about with the love block, love block is a train that runs 3 days a week. It's always on the weekends, and we're constantly getting cars for it. But the way around it, is taking a break for a little bit. Yeah, basically. The way around it is to, I think, at least the way I would approach it is to adjust the frequencies, and that's something that is something that can be done. It's done on A line. I know that they adjust frequencies, so, but we don't use the frequencies. But there's a lot of things that we gotta do. So I'm going to. I would love to reach out to people tonight, but it's not going to be till the next day by the looks of it. So 3 to 4 minutes. Really? Wow. Okay. Alright. So since I'm on a 3 to 4 minute delay, I'm taking off. Alright. But, yeah, I don't know what's with the 3 to... It used to be a 30-second delay, now it's a 3 to 4 minute. I don't know what's going on there. Don't know what's up with that. So, anyways, that's it. Just my rambling as usual. So, feel free to like, comment, suggest, do whatever you want.